Andrew Vargason. How the hell are you?
Good. Already thumbs down your video.
Did you?
Me and two others.
You did it? That's hilarious. Oh my god, that's so funny. It's somebody in the chat before the stream even started said, "Who thumbs down this already?"
It wasn't me first, but I followed suit immediately after.
Man, isn't it crazy how some people stalk things? Like it's a legitimate stalker of my YouTube channel. As soon as something happens, we gotta dislike it.
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine
Alright, I
having
need
that kind
to.
of free time, dude.
Can I pop the chat out to its own window? Yes.
Yes, you can.
That's good because the delay is gonna make me watch what's going on over there.
Oh, I got you. What's up, Travis? We're getting people jumping in here. I'm drinking out of my jug of water because I am dehydrated at the moment. So can you just imagine having enough free time to be able to do something like that? Like, God.
Like what? Just watch the chat before it starts?
No, just be able to stalk someone in every move they make like that.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, I'll make myself bigger so it looks like we're sitting together. There we go. What's up, Russell? What's up, 20 Grip? What's up, everyone in the chat? Baby Yoda's hanging out. What's up, Baby Yoda? Okay, so how's life? What's going on?
Dude, life's been alright. Can't really complain. Like, we were able to have the jams. That's like the biggest thing for me is that stuff is behind me
Yeah, I
right
mean,
now.
that's got to be like a kind of a scary thing to be in a position of like we don't know what's gonna happen.
Well, the funny thing was I had a flyer prepped in March. A flyer was ready with a date on it, and like I was just waiting to confirm that date.
Yeah.
And then everything in the world fell apart, and it was like it just felt like, okay, just drag it right to the recycling bin and get rid of it because it's not
Man,
happening.
that is. I bet it feels good now that it's over and that it happened and that it's all like good.
Yeah, well, we as soon as everything started to look like it was going to open up, we just threw dates out there, and like if we have to cancel or postpone it, it is what it is. But
Right. What's up, Kevin Jackson? The original RV fund man is here. That's funny.
yeah, is the RV fund still going? There's one for
Well,
sale at the end of my road.
dude, there's so many for sale everywhere in Ohio. We drive by them all the time, and I'm like, dude, I don't got $20,000 for a house on wheels.
Yeah, and I mean, you really want to get a nice one like that if you were truly going to be living in it.
Bro, you're not gonna want a piece of junk. Like, I cannot imagine just having a junk RV and driving around. Like, first of all, you don't want to have to be scared of it breaking down.
Yeah.
Like, an RV breaking down would be the worst case scenario while you're out.
I mean, maybe then you're just like, you know what? It broke down, but now I live here.
I guess this is now a trailer. We just started the trailer park.
Now I live on the side of I-80.
I bet they'd be real happy with this.
I bet you'd have 2 days before they'd come tow it for you.
Ooh, good point. Wonder where they'd take it. Kevin, you ask where he's at because it seems like he doesn't want to do live streams with me anymore. But
Called out.
I mean, hey, it's just what it feels like. It's probably not the case, but it's what it feels like, and maybe if enough people ask him, he'll jump into one of these. What's up, Eat My Salt? Andy, I know we were going to talk about a topic, but I don't know if I want to talk about this topic right now.
Okay.
Either way, we can talk about the topic. What's up, Jeff Mead? How am I
don't care.
doing?
I mean, you can start it, but I have a comment to preface all discussion anyway.
It literally all has to do with integrity. I mean, basically, the integrity of how things are.
The integrity of bicycle products.
bicycle products and the people who promote
people.
them.
Yeah.
Genuinely. Did you happen to catch
Eat my
Catfish's?
soul wants it now.
Now. Do it now. I think he responded to that story on Instagram, so he knows. He knows what it is.
Yeah.
What's up, Buzz?
That's why they all know I'm in here too. They're like, oh, that guy has no chance of going anywhere, so he'll blow his spot up.
This MFer's been on 5,000 followers for 6 years.
I'm okay with that.
There's nothing wrong with it. Industry talk. Jeff, is that fist bumps or going like this? Because it could be either. Oh, everybody's asking how I am. I shot my trap shooting league tonight. I didn't do it last week because obviously you're not going to want to shoot a gun 50 times 2 days after you have a concussion. Didn't feel too bad.
Hey, is that my camera that looks super blurry, or is it just the way that it's coming through on your end?
It's the way it's coming through. It's just I have it enlarged and it's a little pixelated, so it's not super sharp. But it's not a problem. It doesn't look bad to me. Does it look bad to anyone else?
It looks bad to me, and that's what I'm looking at.
Well, if you want to fix it, get closer.
No.
Okay. Well, that's the solution. Either way, though, my head feels
What if I just put myself somewhere else?
Hey, you just put us both somewhere else. Interesting. That's cool.
Or we go here.
Ooh, I like that. Feels nice. Looks all right on my phone. Slight blur. I think we're doing okay.
I'm guessing it's a camera setting on my end where it's trying to autofocus.
It's just pixelated from Skype. It's just not as sharp as it.
That's true, because Skype does suck.
Yeah, you're not
Here, let's blur it on purpose, and then we don't even care.
Ooh, look at you.
Except it's doing that weird auto green screen thing.
Was it not supposed to?
Well, it's not a real green screen, so the camera will auto detect it.
It's not too bad.
I really hate that I'm wearing a headset. It looks stupid.
Hey,
I look stupid.
Listen, Linda.
What's new?
Listen. I don't know. We can get shitty if you want.
Sure. You start the topic, and I'll give you my
okay.
introductory comment on it before we get into the weeds.
This is gonna get me in trouble. I made an Instagram story the other day saying how I was sick of. Let me just read it. I'll read it, and that'll make it even better. I hope I can find it. If I go
Good luck. I wanted to screen grab it, and then I forgot to.
We're all good. I got it right here. I said, kind of sick of the, in quotes, they give me free shit, so I'll say what they make the best of whatever they make attitude of things that runs rampant everywhere. If you wouldn't buy it or support it without being supported by it, you're probably lying. What's your story? What do you have to say about it?
Well, I don't even know exactly where your head was at with that.
Well, how do you interpret it?
I mean, I take it straight to mostly non-bike related stuff, like energy drink sponsors and weird stuff like that, where it's trash. You shouldn't be promoting it to children, but the paycheck's too good, so you do it anyway.
Good point. Great point. And I feel like the people realize that who are doing it. It's unfortunate. I think so. And the worst part about that one is that it's the people who are doing that are the people who I feel the worst to talk about because they're all the best people.
Well, the funny thing about it is a lot of the time, actually, I can't even really pinpoint a time that you've seen them drinking it, that it's not just a photo. of the can
Ooh.
somewhere.
Well, there are videos. Like I think definitely Ryan Nyquist does videos where he'll like take a drink and then do a trick. Um, Chase Hawk might do similar. I've seen some videos like that.
Okay.
Either way.
But I know, like, for example, Doyle was pretty good about, like, he would always be posting a can of Rockstar,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think I ever saw him drinking it. Not that he wouldn't, but for how many cases they probably send you.
Yeah, that's a weird one, isn't it? How much of that are you giving away, or what are you doing with it if you don't actually drink it? You know? Oh yeah, Tom Dugan does a lot of it where he'll drink his rock star and then do crazy tricks. Um,
Okay. I mean, yeah, but everyone drinks, like, well, not everyone, but a lot of people drink something here and there, be it a Red Bull or a soda
yeah.
or even a Gatorade, right? Like that one has replenishing factors to it, but
So here's what my take on energy drinks would be. It feels like an unfortunate side effect of the current state of BMX
mm-hmm.
because the top people are the ones who have energy drink sponsors, and the top people are the ones who deserve top pay, and the only way they're able to get it is from energy drink companies or being the highest paid rider on any given company,
Mm-hmm.
which is an unfortunate side effect of where BMX is at currently.
Yeah, I can go with that.
Which, I mean,
It's been that way for 10 plus years,
yeah, it's true.
15 plus years. I don't know, maybe even 20, because you look back and it was like Mountain Dew sponsored everything way back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before Mountain Dew wasn't hardcore enough of an energy drink.
I would say though that it's transitioned a little even more today, where you've got people who are sponsored by like Plants Basically and Raw
Mm-hmm.
Superfoods, and people who are have legitimate Dak and his new and not energy his new drink sponsor.
I don't follow it close enough, but I know what you're talking about with like plants, basically.
Yeah, and he talked about it in his unclicked thing. So there is more, I feel, than like what there used to be probably.
I suppose as far as like decent options.
Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna
Um,
lie, I tried to hit up Body Armor. They never got back to me.
I know Joel Barnett, who was like a New York local, rode for FBM for a while, then was on like Fit and might be on United now
Uh-huh.
as like Flow. Um, he was sponsored by Vitamin Water for a little while.
Isn't that like not actually good for you though?
I don't know.
I think vitamin water just has the name vitamin and it is not
Okay.
actually good.
Uh, they were talking about Bang, and I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about, but now I get it. I
Bang is
forgot
an
about that
energy
energy
drink.
drink.
Yeah, it's an energy drink. That's funny. Um,
I was like, what are you talking about, those Bang girls?
it's a different kind of website.
Yeah.
But anyways, so where else does your brain go with that statement? Because Jeff Mead wrote high-end generic. It's all the same stuff. 10,000 reviews all saying the same thing about the same product.
I think like a huge picture is that this extends well beyond BMX,
Oh, for sure.
and so I'll come back where I wanted to go off the beginning, and it's like a parallel discussion, not exactly the same. Um, is look at like a company like Eastern
Yeah.
that they've been around forever. How many people do you know running their stuff?
A couple, actually.
Well, me, I run their stuff too.
Oh, okay.
So But my point is, they just do a bad job marketing themselves. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think that their stuff is inherently any better or worse than, say, like Cult completes and low end stuff. It's just that Cult has a stacked team, a stacked, owner, um, marketing, and if someone breaks their stuff, they hype it up and then like send them new stuff. And Eastern probably will send you new stuff, but they're going to be like, "Yep, sorry," and they don't have a great team behind them. Like, there's going to be no hype to push their product, and it's just an unfortunate marketing situation. So, like, on my end, I've had good luck with a lot of their products,
Yeah.
and I like them. So, like, I wouldn't say that repping them is a bad thing, whereas in your sake of discussion, like, it could look like that.
It only looks like that because Eastern has a bad rep in BMX.
Yeah.
Literally, they just have a terrible reputation. Maybe, maybe there was some validity there with some of their older frames because I heard a lot of things.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's no hiding that their Grim Reaper frame was a pile of garbage.
So it got them a really bad reputation, and in BMX, reputation is everything, which is
Hmm.
I mean, kind of the whole world too.
But also look at their history before that, right before they even put that frame out, and like in the history of BMX trends when everything was heavy, Eastern went in with the heaviest. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they were making the heaviest parts because that's what people were asking for.
Okay.
So it was no surprise that they came out and pushed the limits the other way. It's
Oh,
just
interesting.
unfortunate that, when you push that limit and then all your stuff breaks and you don't have the marketing genius to back it, you stand there looking stupid.
Yeah, you've got a good point. What's up, CX? What's up, Adrian? Somebody in the chat, Murtaza, has a good point. In that there's only a few producers of bikes like over in Taiwan. Most of the stuff is made in the same places,
That's
literally.
basically my comment about Cult versus Eastern. Like,
Yeah,
it,
and eat my salt. No, it's not that he's talking about. Full Factory does have BSD, Sunday, G Sport, and Odyssey under their umbrella, but the factories that make those products probably, or not probably, it's probably a definite thing, make products that a whole bunch of other companies sell as well.
I mean, there's catalogs full of stuff. You can go get Lip Lord's pedals made that are someone else's pedal from 5 years ago that they don't put their logo on it anymore.
Yeah,
You could do that
legitimately.
right now.
Legitimately.
Uh, Rant put out pedals when we were in Vegas for Interbike
Let's hear it.
together. There were pedals that came out for Rant that my buddy James through Weston Cycles had out 10 years ago. They are the exact pedal.
Which is crazy. And where are we going with this? One thing that's kind of blowing my mind right now. Oh, Jeff Mead says 1 year ago, even.
Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
Jeff Mead, not Jeff Mead. Right now, Kink put out Travis Hughes's signature frame,
Mm-hmm.
which is literally just a generic, like normal. It's just the generic frame that a company over in Taiwan makes that they're putting their name and stuff on. If you compare it to the Stranger Ballast or whatever frame Stranger makes that's the exact same price, and you
Yeah.
look at the tubing and you look at how things are made and you just compare the frames themselves, you'll see that these frames are almost the exact same thing,
Mm-hmm.
but it's his signature frame somehow.
Yeah, I mean, that's just it's a normalization of like geometries and everything too, though. Like, why people don't have to try different stuff because
Mm-hmm.
they know what works. So, I mean, most of BMX frames, aside from when someone wants to do something different, like nowhere, or even like a dual wishbone frame, like a barcode or something.
Uh-huh.
If you're not doing something like that, they are 99% the same frame.
Right, which makes you like, which I feel like makes you wonder, like, so if Travis Hughes is actually riding his signature frame, and that's the frame he's riding, he trusts it, and it's just as good as some of their other frames, then why is there a $150 price difference between that and something on the higher like scale, like Nathan Williams' signature frame? Is it, I guess there's custom features in there, like the bridges across the chains or seat stay and
Hmm.
things like that. But when it comes to the actual frame itself, it kind of makes you wonder.
That's a good point, Salt, about We the People with their investment cast dropouts and stuff, and Sunday with their tubing.
Yeah. That's why I always like give Sunday as the example, like why I ride the Soundwave. People say everything over there is exactly the same, but then you look at the Soundwave frame. It's got tubing and technology in it that's totally different when combined with any other frame that exists, and it makes a frame that they're putting a lifetime warranty on that they really don't get people breaking, which makes me trust it.
Hmm. Now, different shaped tubing and stuff you can buy all the time from a company like Fairing, who supplies bicycle tubes.
Mm-hmm.
You can get all sorts of different shaped down tubes
Well, I
and
wonder why
top
no one
tubes and
else is
whatnot.
doing a waved tubing then.
Technically, even though there's structural elements that are good for it, anytime you come to a tighter bend, like in the wave ripples, they're actually creating stress risers usually. So it should be good, and it probably is as long as they're normalizing the tube before anything is done. But uh,
What's up?
all right, yeah, I'm kind of missing where Jeff's going with the lifetime warranty comment.
I think maybe just higher.
Or he's maybe answering CX.
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure. He'll probably clarify when he hears you say that. It's just an
In
interesting,
45 seconds.
yeah, it's just an interesting conversation to have because I didn't really think about the energy drink side of things, you know? Um, because that's totally true. There are people out that are promoting these things that are really terrible for people because it pays their bills. And I mean, who can argue? Like I get it. If Rockstar came to me and wanted to sponsor me, I would have a dilemma on my hands on whether or not I would do it. Because on one hand, it'd be nice to get paid and have money, and whatever. On the other hand, it's the integrity side of it is like it's the balance of the integrity of promoting something that you don't actually use or would want to promote versus how much is it worth it to get paid and be able to live.
Right. Well, I mean, it's like the old adage of selling your soul to the devil, right?
Yeah, I guess
If,
so.
if you, but it's not black and white either. There's a huge gray area of how much do you dislike something. Are you downright opposed to it? So let's make it like an extreme side and say if you were vegan and Slim
Ooh.
Jim wants to sponsor you, but they're going to give you like $200,000 a year to promote their product, and you don't ever have to eat it,
I don't know, man. That's a
right? It
freaking moral dilemma. That's a crazy
IBM soup
question.
can head tube.
That's a good one to bring up though. Even me talking here, I completely stopped drinking energy drinks in high school because I got addicted to the sugar in it and the cat or not the sugar, the caffeine, and it would make me feel like crap whenever I wouldn't drink one. So I had to have one every single day. So I just swore off of them. And now, if a company came to me and was like, "Oh, we want to sponsor your YouTube channel or you as a bike rider for an energy drink," I'd be like, "Oh crap."
Well, again, and if they're like, I don't, you don't have to drink one or anything. You just have to promote it and plug it. You're like, it becomes where's your number?
Well,
Because
yeah,
you're going to take crap about selling out or whatever, for
and
sure. There's no way
that's
you're
where the
not.
integrity side of things comes in.
Yeah.
The other one is like the thing that really came to my mind with all of this is just all of the people who are getting sponsored by these random shoe companies that are popping up out of nowhere with the shoes that just look like the absolute worst quality ever. They just look like terrible shoes, and people are like, "Oh, I'm like super stoked on these." I'm like, "Are you? Did you even ride in them yet? Do you know that they're going to be okay? What happens if you crash in them?"
Yeah.
It's
Well, yeah, you haven't listened to it yet, you said, but there's a good long podcast on that on Casey Smith's podcast.
which I'm excited to hear. I just haven't had a chance. Life has been insanely busy lately.
So, uh, that episode was really interesting, though. But, kind of to summarize, it's one of his listeners does not like Vans
I
and
think
thinks
there's
that
a
they don't
lot of
support
people
you.
that don't like Vans. I think there's people who get paid by Vans who don't even like Vans.
Yeah. Well, his comment was regarding like Dak, I think. Like, can you imagine he's jumping off of roofs in those things?
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, okay, I'm
Like,
not
they're not
gonna
going to support you
I'm not
at
gonna
all.
name drop anyone, but I was around a group of people who literally like talked about how they have like the one guy legitimately hurt himself because of the shoes he was wearing several times, and it's all for the support of like the fact that they get supported
Yeah.
and the fact they can promote it and stuff. And I was just mind blown by that because like you're saying this while you have Vans on your feet.
Well, and there's a double standard there, though. Or not really double standard, but like it's tough to balance that because they're also doing so much for
Oh,
BMX.
100%, they're
And,
doing so
like their
much.
their Vans contests and everything and just different money. And even let's look at like their program they just did with the wheel mill,
Yeah,
where buying some slip-ons and it goes to the park to keep them open during the coronavirus stuff.
yeah.
So it's like on one hand, you have to respect what they're trying to do, but to then turn around and pretend that they're not selling trash is kind of hard.
And that's where the integrity side of things comes in. I mean, it's hard. People have like hard decisions. Like, I know these aren't great, or I know they're not the best, but they pay my bills, and like, it's that or get a real job. I don't know. That's a tough question to answer and a tough question to be asked.
Yeah, well, let's take it even further though. Is it worse to rep and support Vans making a substandard product doing stuff for BMX, or rep and support Nike, who is not doing anything for BMX, but probably makes a superior product because they have way more years of experience making way more different types of shoes and they invest money in R&D every year.
Yeah, that whole F this company for pulling out of BMX discussion kind of rubs me the wrong way, mostly because it's like people who have that attitude don't realize that you can't be paid to ride your bike or be supported by companies forever, and you aren't going to retire from a BMX sponsorship, period.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I just don't know.
All right, so I'm going to take your comment about fat pillows and say, does that make a good supportive shoe, or is it just soft and comfortable in the short term?
Yeah. Sounds lame, but I've been rocking nothing but Globe Fusions for over 10 years for riding. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Not gonna make it That's okay,
We
Casey.
we were
Next
just
time.
talking about you, Casey. We
Yep.
we just summarized a little bit of your recent episode.
Yep. And it's like people are in a crappy position in BMX because it's literally making a decision of, do I rep this company and promote them that I might not necessarily be fully like in support of, and be able to ride my bike and have a dream and whatever, or do I pass on it, have a real job and whatever. Casey, I'm sure you did have industry dudes pissed because they're getting paid, because you're going to threaten their paycheck. That's why people get pissed. That's the whole
Yeah,
reason that this question is so hard, because we're talking about people's paychecks and livelihood here.
yeah, and I mean he did just miss the question of, is it better to take to support and rep the company that's doing things for BMX and making a trash product, or better to support and rep the company making a stellar, superior product doing nothing for BMX?
All I'm going to
And
say,
it's a catch-22 all around, because uh, you can't glaze over the fact that the product is no good,
right.
and
Well,
people
it's
do.
legitimately going to hurt. It's like it's hurt people in the past, you know? Or just be stoked that someone will support you. I've been in that position. Sometimes it's just a high stoke level that someone wants to hook you up. And that's the question that we're talking about right now. Like, it's literally a question of integrity, and it's a hard one to answer, and it's one that I feel like I can't speak for Andy here, but I personally totally understand why someone would make that decision, and I'm not faulting anyone for doing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's a crappy position to think about being in.
There's another there's like a subset of this that you can look at too, that's the weird, like, I don't even want to call them second tier uh companies,
Like,
but like third tier companies and like shirt companies that they put you on a team, but you have to buy your product at like
oh,
a
dude, that's
50%
not being
discount.
on a team. I hate that.
Dude,
I
I
can't
know,
stand
but
that. I'll call out
those
whoever.
types of schemes
Dude,
make
let's call
money.
out. I'll call out people right now because I think it's bullshit. Hyper did that. Hyper literally, back in whenever I was emailing every single company in existence, they sent a thing back like, "Oh yeah, you can be on our support team. You just have to buy. You can buy a frame for $299, and then we'll repost your stuff or whatever." And it's like, dude, that frame costs you a fraction of that. You're making money off of it, and you're manipulating people into
Hmm.
paying for product and thinking that they're on some kind of team.
Yeah.
It's just wrong.
And Casey just said something about first, second, and third tier companies. I would like to define that in like just general speak of what you would think.
Yeah,
First
definitely.
is like globally known or even just nationally known. So like you take S&M, Standard, Fit, any We the People, any of those are known around the world.
Uh-huh.
Second tier would be regional companies like Nowhere,
Yeah, I would
maybe
agree.
Dead Crow Army.
Uh
Uh,
Court John
we
Work BMX is second tier right now, for now.
Right now, yep.
Um who else is there?
We could say GrindWorks just because I'm sitting right here.
Yeah, I
We could put
mean, I would say, I wouldn't disagree.
it's not first, that's for sure. But then like third tier is just, I think it's where it starts to become, is this even legit? Which is what we're talking about right now, where it's a company that, I mean, Hyper is legit, but
Yeah.
like they were it's a dirty tactic. But I'm talking like the t-shirt companies or any other rep company that pops up that's like, hey, buy our product, we'll put you on this support team, then we'll give you this promo code so all your friends can get 30% off too.
It's just a
And you're just like,
scam.
it is.
It's literally a scam, and it's mind blowing. And like, the crappy part is that so many people fall for it, and they're like, "Oh, I'm, like," they tag whatever companies in their Instagram posts and stuff, and it's like, "Oh, this stuff's awesome." Like, is it awesome because you think it's awesome, or is it awesome because they're giving you something?
Yeah.
This is,
You see, I was gonna say you see that a lot. Like I, I'm involved in, but not like heavily, the whole streaming thing, game streaming,
uh-huh.
whatnot. That runs rampant in that industry, where you'll take like gaming chair companies or different like drinks and whatnot, drink mixes, anything, and it's just you're buying your chair and then it's promo codes and you're on this like affiliate team and it's like, dude, you're not sponsored. Like, let's be clear what a sponsorship is versus like a partnership
If it's
too.
a deal that you could get on Hook It, it's not sponsorship.
I forgot about Hook It.
It still exists.
What was it called before that?
I don't
There
remember.
was like a brief period of time where it was like a sponsor me site and it was not called Hook It.
I don't remember.
It doesn't really matter.
No.
No, they're not. I'm sitting in one, and that's the funny thing about that whole promo code about the office chairs and stuff. All the gaming chairs are trash. You want to spend money on a chair, buy a real good office chair, like what you're sitting in. That thing looks cushy and made to be sat in for
It's
8 hours a
great, but
day.
the butt's too long on it. My knee bend is on the top, and I can't. Yeah. Either way, though, it's nice. But
The best thing about mine is that the arms flip up.
ooh, you're so fancy. Uh, the old potato. What's up, dude?
Yeah,
Saw you're
what's going
playing
on,
BMX
potato?
the game. The TF is Hook It. Hook It is a website where you can go on, you can apply for sponsorship for companies where you can get 10, 20, to 30% off, and you can be sponsored.
But you got to buy your first round of product,
Yep.
$300 minimum order.
It's
And then you
all
get a
just
10% promo code for your friends. So don't worry. It's legit.
it's
It's not a
insane.
pyramid scheme at all.
I don't know if I'd call that a pyramid scheme, but
I
yeah,
mean, not really. Well, I mean, you kind of draw in more people.
yeah. It's a pyramid scheme that ends with you. You're the bottom of the pyramid constantly. No one can ever be under you. Let's see. I've rode with a few people who turn down sponsorships because they take the fun out of riding. I mean, they can, but I feel like, I mean, I have sponsors and I feel like riding is as fun as it's ever been. And it's mostly because I will not represent somebody who I don't like support.
How did that work out for you, B-Air?
It's Bear.
Is it?
Yeah.
It says B-Air BMX, but I'll take
That's how
Bear.
you pronounce it. That's funny. Glove sponsors. I mean, there's a lot of companies that are on Hook It. There was a BMX social media site at one point. It was out of Minnesota. Forgot the name. Which one is that?
Uh, I had an account on it. I don't remember what it was.
I don't know what he's talking about. How long ago? It
It
was
was like
great.
right around the time MySpace was going away and Facebook was becoming popular.
Oh, I don't even know then. He said it was great. Got like 20% off products. That's funny. That is the reality of Hook It though, and
I think it was it Insta BMX
I have no idea.
or
If
not
so, I don't
not
recognize
Insta.
it.
It was something like that. Probably not Insta. That's a hashtag.
Yes, InstaBMX is a hashtag, but it's also interesting to talk about dance comp Vital, no, it's not Vital. Vital's still around, and it is a social media kind of. It's more of a forum, not really social
Yeah,
media.
it's for them.
Vital's been pretty active though.
They're have they? I mean, they were active for a while.
I'm
Oh, Liddy
sponsored by
Hat's Old
Lady
Potato.
Hats.
They are the most legit third tier
Are they
company.
still commenting on people's stuff?
Maybe he's just holding it down from a couple years ago and like the only person still on the team.
Inter BMX.
Inter BMX, that's what it was.
Yeah, I never knew anything about that. What happened to Dan's? Why the hate? Well, Dan's got bought out, and I have no idea what's going on with them currently. But the reason why people hate on Dan's previously is just because of their like the way they did things and their practices that made them more money while taking money out of the pocket of people like in the industry and stuff. So they would get what is it called, dealer, or what pricing was it called? Something or another. They'd get distributor pricing. That's what it is. So let's start at the beginning. Company makes a product, then the distributor has the product, then the distributor goes to the bike shops, and then the bike shops go to the consumer. Well, Dan's Comp would go all the way, and they, instead of doing like whatever pricing bike shops would get, they would get distributor pricing for things so they could buy it for cheaper, then sell it for the same price, the MSRP, and then make more money on it. So it's kind of a scummy way to do things, and it takes money out of bike shops' pockets, distributor pockets, and just kind of not a good way.
Well, the other thing is most of those companies have a requirement to not post their price below MSRP for a certain period of time.
Mm-hmm.
So that it makes everyone fair and level, you know.
Yeah.
With exception of like you'll see Albies is always 3 cents cheaper than Dan's because they do 96 cents rather than 99.
I know
But
where you're going with this. I like it.
but uh, Dan's was kind of an exception to those rules, and they would get, because they bought so much, they would strong arm companies into allowing them to post below MSRP early.
Well, part of that too, though, is that because they're getting cheaper pricing, they're getting distributor pricing, which means they have less money into a product.
Yeah,
Their
they're
margins are
price
bigger.
gouging it pretty
They
bad.
can give out those discount codes, and people can get discounts on their whole cart. So rather than selling a product for cheaper than MSRP and the even playing field that they're supposed to, they cut it off of what they're getting paid as a total, so they can get around that. Source does the same thing, don't they? Don't they have a lot of coupon codes and stuff?
I don't know.
I feel like they might. I can't say for sure, and I don't want to like butt hurt anybody or anything because Source does a lot for BMX too. But this whole coupon code and free shipping and all of that stuff is a way to get around that whenever you already have less money invested in a product and you can't list it for cheaper than what a whatever for wait here what. There you go.
That's good.
The Brant haircut fun. Thank you, Casey, for the
That was
super
awesome.
chat. That's hilarious. Did I deliver with my cut? That's funny. So here we go. If enough people do that, I'll be bald by the end of the stream. That's
And
hilarious.
if you collect it all, I'll tape it to my head for the next one.
Anyways, though, so does that make sense though? I feel like okay, I'm gonna play the Joe Rogan fund. I'm an idiot. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So like, if you're coming to me for this kind of thing, like this is totally different than a tip video where I'm giving solid information. I feel like what I'm saying is correct, but I'm not like certain about it. Fair?
Yeah.
Cool. Sometimes they do, but they also give you free stuff with your order, but they also have ride around park and host battle. Yeah, so like Source BMX is like the good version of Dance Comp.
Yeah. But again, we're saying we don't know, right?
Yeah,
About their mail order tactics. But that could also be the exact same Vans argument, right? Like, do you promote because they're doing a cool thing for BMX on this side? Does it offset whatever trash may or may not be happening over here? And
dude.
again, I'd kind of rather not trash talk Source specifically because we don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say, so I'm not going to try and say anything. I just thought that they did some coupon stuff, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. I do know that a lot of people are starting to order from them regularly, even around here. So
Interesting. Is low tech still a thing? I don't think so, but I don't know. You know, it'd be sick is if Orchid started up again, just because Orchid was cool.
I mean, low tech was cool too.
Yeah, I have a pair
I
of
was an
low.
Orchid dude myself. I liked the Martinez shoes.
Yo, I have a pair of those in my closet.
Nice.
I mean, the whole shoe thing comes up, and it's like, it did make me think about the whole like ride concepts thing, just because the only reason that I sought out ride concepts was because the shoes that I was wearing, which were like super rock solid, tough shoes that I know that I wouldn't get hurt in, weren't made anymore, and I ran out of them. And I was like, well, crap, I need to find something that is of quality enough. We'll talk about that in a minute, okay? But I needed to find something that was quality enough and supportive enough and protective enough to match what I was wearing. And that company lived up to it, and they were willing to support me at the same time. And like, so it worked out. Uh, so should we address the elephant in that room that he just dropped? Because that's interesting.
The Source contest?
Apparently, there's a source contest in the U.S. coming soon.
I thought they kind of teased that on one of the big media Instagrams.
I did not know anything about that or hear anything about that, so that is awesome. Very, very awesome. Bring back Duff's shoes. What's up, Star Roblox? Let's see. Wow, that's a pretty sick. First of all, support your local bike shop. Yes. Hashtag Brimstone Bicycles, another company or business, I guess you, whatever you want to call them, bike shop that supports me, and I am wholeheartedly in support of them because they support the community. They actually do good things.
All right, I have to cut you off with that.
Why?
Because I've always had an issue with the support your local bike shop thing.
Why?
For the very good reason that not everyone has a bike shop that is to be supported.
Well, listen, Linda.
And I have a good example of that.
It comes with an asterisk, okay? Because obviously you could say support your local anything and someone might not have one nearby. It's totally obviously. What you're saying is a given.
Well, no. I'm saying you do have a local bike shop. You may even have multiple in the area. But they will not do anything. I mean, I had one that you could go in there and give them money to order something for you, and they would not.
And that's a case of just everything else in life. You take it as it comes, and if it's not good, then well, that sucks. Because the local bike shop in Worcester, there's a bike shop in Worcester.
Yeah.
Brimstone Bicycles isn't actually my closest local bike shop, but the local bike shop in Worcester, just they have these snooty people that work in there, and they don't like like they just act like BMX is like inferior, and basically they're roadies. And so I don't go there. Never have really went there. I've only ever bought a couple things from them because of it. So I mean, yeah, there are local bike shops that aren't always the best, or you feel like you can't support them. But in general, you want to say support your local bike shop, because what else are you going to say? Are you going to be like, support your local bike shop, but this is the list of things that...
Well, no. My general way that I would say it is check with your local bike shop first, and if they're not going to order it for you, don't keep bothering them. Like, I'm not I'm not going to go to this shop every single time that I want something just for them to tell me to take a hike every time.
Well, yeah, no
And
one
it
is.
that shop was just not just me, it was everyone. And then somehow they would always find people that worked there that were like pretty legit. And then you'd go, all right, like I'll give this shop another shot. And the dudes that worked there would be like, yeah, of course we can order that for you. The owner would not do it. He's like,
Yeah,
no, we don't want to order from that company. We don't want to do this. And it's like, we took a down payment. Like the dude paid for this already. Order his stuff.
yeah, it's unfortunate that that exists, but I still, you can't
Yeah.
just not say support your local bike shop, because there's so many people out there who don't even bother to try.
Well, I just think it's worth discussing because the point of the comment like you're making is to go check out your shop and try to get it locally first. That's the big point, right?
Yep. And if you can't, or your local bike shop is a bunch of D-bags, then obviously that's when you support Albies or Empire or
Mm-hmm.
somebody else who's doing who's doing good things. Somebody did have a comment about Empire up here that I really wanted to read because it's kind of sweet, and it's just really cool. One
Yeah, I think
time
I
when
saw.
I called Empire for a profile axle and driver and they were out of stock, Tom took them out of a hub and sent it to me at a discount and filled the box with stickers. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Really, really cool. Can we have a start a fund to have Brant Sprocket Chunk on some roadies carbon frame? Man, I don't want to upset any roadies like that.
Now I do have a hilarious story about that same bike shop that I am talking bad about. Uh, there was a point in time where if you went in there, they offered that they would match Dan's prices on anything they had in stock.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you went in there and you'd be like, hey, Dan's has that for whatever. He'd be like, all right, show me. So you'd like either show him the catalog or whatever. And he's like, all right, cool. You can come back in 3 days and pick it up.
I wonder what? Like that actually happened?
Yeah. He would not sell it to you at that price unless you weren't willing to wait 3 days. Just like ordering from Dan's. It
Interesting.
was just being a dick. But
Oh,
it's funny.
I see now. I thought you were saying like he was ordering something and matching the price.
No.
I see.
No. I mean, they had it in stock. And he's like, yeah,
Yeah.
I can match Dan's price if you want to wait 3 days for it.
Some people are just dicks, man. Period.
Bought it off Dan's? No. He was the
He,
competing mail order called Ace BMX.
whoa, I ordered from them one time.
Did you get your stuff?
Yeah. I forget
Okay.
what I ordered, but I got it. I forget completely what it was. Anyways, I support strictly BMX rider owned and operated in Melbourne since '96.
That's rad that you have something like that, Nick P.
That is cool. Empire is great with customers. They called me to make sure I wanted a front 14 millimeter male axle. They're like, listen, dude, are you sure you want that? Like, did you accidentally click the wrong thing? That's so funny. Who TF? You want to hear a funny one about front 14 millimeter? There's a
Casey, I just got rid of one. Like I was just riding it until this last build.
there's a guy locally here who had a 14 millimeter front wheel and he got some R32s. So instead of getting a new hub or new axle or doing something about it, he literally hand drilled out his forks, his brand new R32s to fit 14 millimeter.
Yeah, I've done that.
Brand new R32s though, like
So what?
modern, brand new forks, $150 forks.
Grinding out forks doesn't actually void the warranty.
It's still insane.
Actually, it may. I don't know if those don't have any cutouts in them. It wouldn't void the warranty.
It's still
But
insane.
but if you don't do it on center and you don't have a jig for doing that,
Right, you're gonna
then
have it off too.
then you're not an R32 anymore. Most likely you went away from the butt of the fork.
You're a 30 on one and a 28 on the other side.
Most of the time, not voided warranty on something simple like that. Cutting bars, fork dropouts. At least back in the day, that wouldn't void a warranty. Cutting your steer tube doesn't void a warranty.
Normal
It's only
things.
if you're going back saying you cut it wrong. But if you ride those forks for like 3 years that way and crack them, they're going to warranty them.
Most of the time, that's another misconception in BMX. Like, I can't stand when people I know who are totally, like, they've been riding for a long time, post up broken parts on the internet, like, and tag the company. Like, do you not even care about potentially getting a break on price or whatever for a part that you completely abused and beat the crap out of for 4 years before you broke it?
Even 1 year. If I mean, even frames, like the life expectancy of a frame is a year.
That's what they say, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, right. So if you get anywhere from 9 months to a year out of a product, you got your use out of it.
Right. And then you post it on Instagram. Like, all you have to do is send a nice email to a company with some words and a picture, and then they're going to come back and it might be like, oh, well, we can't replace that. It's not under warranty. We don't have warranty on that, but we can offer you a crash replacement or give you a hookup if you want to spend whatever amount of money on a brand new one. And most of the time, that's going to be cheaper than if you went out and bought it from a store or from their store or from your bike shop or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have a good example of that from Kink, even because I broke their cranks, and it's like there's a couple of options that you've got when you break apart. You can be the 15-year-old kid that doesn't understand how you get replacement parts, like you're saying, post up the picture of the cranks and like these pieces of garbage, blah blah blah, at the company, whatever. Or you hit them up and say, hey, can I get another pair of these, like at cost or something, because I broke them.
Yeah.
Most likely they're going to go, oh man, if you broke those, like we'll replace them, no big deal. And then afterwards you can still post a picture of the broken parts, but you shout out, hey, thanks for the amazing customer service and quick replacement on these.
Mm-hmm.
Not piece of crap, broken parts, bad company, horrible customer service. They were dicks to me on the phone.
There's so many people who just don't get that. I've always got it. Like I cracked cranks back when I first started riding, and I never like posted about it online. I just sent them an email like, "Oh, these like cracked. Is there anything you can do for me?" Thanks for hanging out, Murtaza. All hail the Lip Lords. That's right. Stay tuned for the next one because we're making another one, baby.
Yeah, and Bear, that is the option I was kind of throwing out there, was like the reason I even said Kink and saying, hey, can I get another pair, is because I know the sales rep and I buy them.
Right. Well,
so I was just saying, hey, can I order another pair? And he was like, didn't you just buy these like a couple months ago?
Hmm.
And so, I mean, the discussion led that way. But yeah,
Yeah.
especially if you're getting any sort of hookup on parts and you don't just try to buy the next set, that's kind of dirty.
Yeah. Uh, Somebody asked when I'll do an RNC tie cranks review. Well, I'm never gonna buy those because they're $400 something, and I have heard so many people who have had trouble and have problems dealing with that guy, and a couple people even selling theirs because of the problems that other people have had, that I'm just not even gonna touch it.
And they're tie.
Well, I mean, I'm not worried about that.
I weigh too much to run tie.
Did you see the video that he posted though? He literally put the
Yeah.
press on it. It was 5,000 pounds of force.
Yeah, but let's be fair, that's a controlled application.
You're
Slowly.
never going to put 5,000 pounds of force on something, ever.
But impulse force is different than like slow application in a controlled manner, and direction is always key. Because
Yeah,
you're also never going to land perfectly square.
you're right. At the same time, though, they're solid, which is different because there's the things are just different whenever it's like a solid whatever. Yo, thanks for hanging out, Casey. Next time, we'll get you on here next week. I probably can't for the rest of this week, but next week since tomorrow's Friday.
Tomorrow is Friday.
Isn't
That's
that
nice.
crazy? It's crazy how fast it goes.
I mean, being off Monday was cool.
Yeah, I'm always off on Mondays, so it didn't affect me.
I'm not.
Well, you know. Potato. What's potato, Kevin? We don't have potato today.
Um, Circling back to your conversation, though, where did your comment originally come from? Because obviously I explained like where I stand on some stuff, but like, yeah, you weren't in the market of energy drinks when you were thinking about it,
Oh,
and then you were
dude.
like, "I'm gonna make someone mad by calling them out."
I
So,
gotta think. I honestly can't even remember.
or is it purely that like you just scroll and you see one after another
Well, I
after
think that
another?
was the majority of it. And like I mean, let's be honest here. I mean, I know you saw Catfish's Instagram stories yesterday.
No.
Oh, you didn't see it? He called out our BMX because he was talking about how they're he was saying they don't have any original content, which obviously can be debated. But then he brought up the advertising things, and he brought up the Dennis Enerson shoe advertisements, and he was saying like you didn't post that because you like are buying these shoes and you think they're awesome or anything. You posted it because you got paid to post it as an advertisement.
Okay.
And I thought it was really interesting that he brought that up. And I was like, well, I mean, technically, too, they should be putting that this is an advertisement on every single post that they post having to do with the company.
Well, and that discussion can go all the way back to there was some stuff on Imprimatur when Mike Hinkins was doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Trey started it on there saying that running under the name at BMX on Instagram and then only posting sponsored content is misrepresentative and they shouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, well, I mean, to that point, they did like recognize that, and I feel like since then they have been posting a lot of just like other random
Mm-hmm.
people's stuff, like a lot.
Yeah, I think so as well. Um, but it's still like you said, anything that's on there that's paid for should be very clearly this is a paid advertisement
I think well, and
from so and so.
I'm not saying that like integrity wise or anything. Like, yes, you probably should integrity wise, but mainly just for like the FTC regulations and things. Like, it is very clear that you're supposed to do these things. Maybe they have some kind of loophole that they're under or something. I don't know. Once again, I'm an idiot. I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe they do. But to my knowledge, like anytime a YouTube video is posted where there's any kind of advertising in it, it's supposed to be said, not even just in the description, but said within the video or put in words on the screen somewhere that it was paid for.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know if it's only a small portion or the entire thing. You know, like if you did a 30-minute bit on, let's just say those RNC cranks, but they were paying you to do that review, not just giving you the product to test,
Yeah.
but paying you for that review, you have to say it's a paid advertisement because you know that the information is skewed. They're not going to pay you for you to sit here and go, these cranks are trash. I can't believe I'm riding them. They bent within the first day.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's not what they're paying you for. They're paying you for positive output.
Right. Right. And kind of what rubs me the wrong way about BMX media and those types of sponsorships is just the purely the fact that this is where people are getting their information. Like, so to have a gate around the walls of what companies and products and have a paywall for a kid who like might not be searching out all over, who just, like they're only seeing a specific set of companies stuff because that company's paying to advertise, which,
Mm-hmm.
yes, you could make the argument, well, maybe the other companies should be paying because if they want to be successful, they know that that's what it's supposed to be or whatever. Like, I get you could make both sides of the argument. I'm not sitting here trying to bash anybody. I'm just pointing things out, and it's like, but at the same time, it sucks that like the hub I ride got zero BMX media coverage because they didn't pay for it, other
Mm-hmm.
than BMX Union.
Well, let's even talk about jams and events.
Yeah.
If you start putting out flyers for a big jam, I get it when it's a first year event and saying that it's, hey, we're not going to share this event because it may be sketchy, we don't know anything about it, blah
Uh
blah.
huh.
But let's go, like our jams. This year was the 5th year. Last year the videos were posted on our BMX.
Uh huh.
Do you think there was any chance of getting those flyers out there?
I bet they'd put it on
Zero.
their Instagram story, but other than
No,
that,
zero.
I don't think, I don't know.
It just never goes out. And you're like, all right, why? Because if someone bigger than us was doing it, that would be out there absolutely right away.
Well, and that's part of the gate that I was talking about.
I know, the paywall.
Even or the pro wall. If it's a pro putting on a jam or a
Mm-hmm.
contest, you know that it's going to be put out there. Which is like, I get it. I get it. You got to be part of the elite. You got to be able to play with the big boys. I
Yeah,
get it.
but when it comes to events, I disagree because the events are not for the company putting them on
Right.
or brand or crew. The events are for the local scene.
True.
And like if you're going to hype up and promote every event that happens in Philadelphia, but you can't be bothered to post any events that happen in Pittsburgh, why?
It's a valid question to ask. I definitely can
Everyone,
see.
Kevin keeps saying you have a flashing stream.
Is it
I
fine
have
for
you
you?
pulled up. It's fine for me.
All right. I think it's just for some people. It says I have an excellent connection on my end. Jeff Mead says BMX is a cool kids club, and if you ain't cool, you ain't in the club. Guys, just refresh the stream if you and see if it helps because I think that might be the problem. 100%. If you aren't in the cool kids club, or if you aren't cool, you aren't in the club of BMX, and it's totally true. Yeah, it's just
Mm-hmm.
100% the way it is. It's why I will never have a legitimate big name frame sponsor in BMX unless my YouTube channel gets 500,000 subscribers and they can't say no anymore.
Yeah, but then the whole team quit after they add you.
Dude, I would love to see that happen because I wouldn't do like what Adam LZ did and like I don't know if he really talked about it or anything. I would be posting videos about that every single day, being like, "What's wrong with you pussies?" Like, "Oh my god, you're so sad that got someone who makes
There,
YouTube videos got added to your team."
there's fractured lines there, and that's a final straw. That's all you have to
Oh
say
yeah, you're right. That
about that.
situation was not all Adam LZ's fault.
You know, there's very rarely that one action like that is
Yeah, you're right.
like
You're
gonna
right. You're
cause a
right.
stir.
You're right. So before anybody goes and gets butt hurt, it was not all Adam LC's fault.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to get butthurt.
No, not you. I'm glad you brought that up because I know there's people who are going to be like, "Oh my God, I know the situation," and blah 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 blah.
I'm not an Adam LZ fan.
Me either. I don't really care. I mean, he does what he does. It's cool that he's successful and all that stuff. But I just the rep that he got in BMX. Ooh, ooh. What about
Ooh.
this conversation? How about the fact that all of that hate that Adam LZ got, and like this dude who's saying LZ is a pussy. What about all that hate that
Where's
Adam
that? I
LZ?
don't see that.
It's in there. Maybe it's not for you.
Maybe
Uh,
my stream's broken now.
is there really like a problem here? I'll try something. I just hit restart on this OBS. We'll see if it helps. It won't kill it for anyone. It'll just make a blink in it. But what about the fact that Adam LZ got all this hate in BMX being a YouTuber? Everybody's all like, he's a YouTuber who happens to ride BMX and the literal F Adam LZ stickers. And then fast forward however many years, and there's all these people in BMX who are trying to make it on YouTube.
Hmm. I think there's an element of like exploiting BMX for your own personal gains versus doing something necessarily because you love it. And I can't speak to that
Mm-hmm.
for him or for Nigel because Nigel's another good example of the same thing. Like he made it to where he was in BMX and then took a left turn and just is doing other stuff, but ex- exploiting may or may not be the right word, but he's
Exploiting is the
using
complete
BMX.
wrong word.
Well, but he's using BMX as like a crutch in these other
Listen,
things.
Linda, we're gonna set this straight in your brain right now. When you went to school and you learned all the stuff that you learned, just like you learned how to ride BMX,
Yeah.
do you think that you're using your knowledge that you learned as a crutch or a tool?
No, I'll agree with that. It's a tool.
It is a tool that he is now
Crutches
using
are tools.
that just happens to be one that is a fun tool that a lot of people feel should be very pure. He's using this tool that he developed, and the biggest difference is that in this is that he's using the tool that he developed and the skill of riding BMX and networking, all that stuff to become where he's at right now, and he's
Hmm.
not leveraging BMX as a community. He's not getting paid by, like, he's not using that and taking money out of the pocket of people who are buying BMX parts. He's not
Yeah.
taking money out of the pocket of other BMX people with what he's doing.
Crutches are a good tool.
They are a good tool, probably. You're right. But the point in that is just like he's not using BMX as an industry against like people who are getting paid from BMX companies are making money using BMX because they're taking money if
Hmm.
you buy a frame from Kink or whoever you buy a frame from, and they take a portion of that and it ends up in one of their riders' pockets, that person profited from BMX.
Yeah, and I think it. I mean, I'm not saying anything negative about him either. So I think
Right.
that's where my comment always comes off that way. But it's like it's more about that the purity of what he's doing within BMX. Like, putting out the Go videos as an example. Like he didn't really do anything innovative, and that's what a lot of people look for when they're watching something. At least in BMX,
Well,
that
people act like
peripheral outer line with like pop culture and hip hop culture and all that stuff, he's making money and able to be successful riding BMX. I don't have an issue with that. And
yeah.
I think that's where that weird hate comes in because Kevin is having a bad time.
He is not having fun not being able to
Uh,
see this stream. I'm sorry, man. I don't know how to fix it for you. Everything is good on my end. I've got green boxes and green
get a better
connections.
device, Kevin.
I don't know. I can't help. I'm sorry. I don't know. But
But all
yeah,
right,
I
yeah,
didn't think that you were like hating or anything. It's just
no,
I was trying to maybe help you see a different perspective on it, just because, and other people who might be listening who had the
yeah.
same. Oh, Mike Feedy's trying to get in here.
And another, I mean, the final comment on that is that I think BMX in general has this hatred of making money and like
Oh, for
talking about it at
sure.
all is
Oh, I
negative.
missed it. Oh, there it is. It worked.
What's up?
Mike,
What's
are you
up?
listening to us?
I just popped in because I'm like just getting done, and I was like, I love touchy subjects. Sorry for
Dude,
being
we've
stupid.
been on touchy subjects all night.
Have you? Well, I'm only chiming in on the Nigel one because because well, I tapped off once I saw once I heard the go thing. Like you can look at it one way. By the way, my name's Mike. I don't
Yeah.
think we've met before.
I think we've met briefly at the wheel mill.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I kind of disagree with you on the go thing because at the end of the day, like you can look at Nigel or LZ the same way as you can like look at like hyper bikes or mongoose bikes for that matter right now, where you may think that they're not doing anything for BMX for you, but they're doing a lot. Sorry about I got like water on my screen.
Yeah.
They're doing a lot for BMX in general because they're keeping kids interested in BMX. So they don't necessarily have to give back to like, hey, my name is Nigel. I ride for Nike, even though Nike isn't relevant in BMX anymore. He is capitalized on his own name, not necessarily exploiting BMX. If anything, BMX is more so using him as a way of networking themselves out there, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do. And I think you missed my final comment on that too, right before you popped in, which was that all of my thoughts on that come out as being negative, but it really loops back to like a community image of that BMX has this hatred of people being successful and making any sort of money.
It
And
does though. It does though.
and
Like not all of it.
I don't share that hatred.
Oh yeah, I could tell you don't. I was just trying to nip it in the bud just in case anybody
Yeah.
agrees out there because BMX, like, look, not every kid in BMX, but I can tell you, you go to any skate park now versus 10 years ago. So like 10 years ago, you go to a skate park, no matter how you rode, everybody rode with each other. Now you go to the skate park, it's like 4-peg kids over here, kids with straight cables over here, gyros over here, depending on your riding style. So like it's always going to change, and that's the point of BMX. Is like I don't know how old you are. I know how old Brand is, but like if you look at like Dennis McCoy, I'll use him as an example because he's like one of the oldest in our industry. He has his BMX. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Alistair Witten, a different generation. He has his BMX. I have my BMX, and the younger generations have their BMX. BMX is going to forever evolve and change, and it is always going to be like make people feel salty because I mean now I sound like the old guy from when I was growing up, and they're like, man, I wish BMX used to be the way it was, and now that's all I say is like, man, I wish more people rode, and that's what people have to understand. It's not about forcing people to understand or forcing people to want BMX to be how they want them to ride, want them to feel. Just let everybody feel and how they want to feel. I mean, I don't know that the guy who transitioned to a girl. A lot of people talk trash on that dude. I don't know if people dude, chick, whatever. I mean, like I'm not talking trash. I'm not trying to be funny right now. I'm saying a lot of people talk trash on that. but like, just let him ride. The same thing with like any person out there that literally has not progressed in 10 years, but they just enjoy riding their bike. Let him ride. If LZ picks up his bike right now at a fucking car show, and he's riding under his tent doing a hot bar spin post on Instagram, let him ride. Like that's all.
And we're in the perfect era of that.
I just want to disclose that I was laughing because you said you just kept calling Chelsea a dude.
Oh, I don't think I've ever met him or her. I don't know. I mean, dude, listen,
she goes as her. She goes as her. So it made me laugh that you kept saying him. Either way, I wanted to say something else. I think today, like 100%, you're totally right on the whole. Everybody like hung out with each other no matter what style they were, however many years ago. I think today it still happens, but it only happens on a scale of the people who have the right personalities being together. Like I think today it's more dependent on personality than just the fact that that's how it is. Because there's so many kids today who just are so like in their own little thing and they don't want to hang out with other people. Then there's other people, like situations like when you go to the wheel mill, everybody hangs out together all the time because the attitudes and the personalities of people there kind of just lend to the whole we're all together, we're all hanging out no matter what we ride kind of thing.
That's only partially true with the wheel mill being a complete local. Well, there's so many different rooms that you don't have to even see each other there.
Yeah, you just get away.
You're right.
Like the park room dudes and the woods room dudes, not the same dudes. Even though they go in the other rooms.
Just say no. I'm over in the cross country room while you guys are in your own little room.
yeah. I like the log ride room.
I'm just saying that every time I'm ever there, everybody's friendly with each other, and no matter who anyone is, they'll still be friendly with someone else when they come into a room, and like they're not just like avoiding each other.
And one last point. This is like probably a while ago because I don't know how back behind my stream was. But I heard you talking about like Our BMX and how they were like putting out ads, and you think they have to disclose when they put out an ad. I agree, and I don't, and I disagree. It's like Our BMX. Who runs it, by the way? Is it Fudger?
There's a few different people, but he's one of them.
Let's just say it's Fudger. He's not running it. If I'm hypothetical, he's not running it as, "Hey, I'm Ryan Fudger," and he's claiming that it's his personal Instagram. Then he would have to. I gotta get voicemails and calls. Then he'd have to disclose those types of things, his bias. Then he wouldn't have to disclose his bias. But since he is Our BMX and he claims to be a media organization, just like any media organization, you're supposed to disclose your non-biased. So when you gave an example as Vans, of course they should put out there that they do have a paywall type of thing, but at the same time, it's like if they're promoting as much as what you guys were saying earlier, like everybody's videos, everybody's events, then they have to really either up the paywall and give those companies that they're being paid from a lot more, and give everyone else like you and me a lot less. Otherwise, then it's like why are those companies paying for them? Otherwise, they could just be like, hey, Brant, okay, you ride for Alienation. Alienation could look at it like, all right, it costs me 10 G's a year to advertise on Our BMX. I'll just pay Brant 3 or 4 G's, and he'll put out a bunch of Alienation edits, and they'll be right on Our BMX. You know what I'm saying? Like they could break it up like that.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's the discussion that happened over on Imprimatur as well. When I think Fudger was the one that got on there to defend their side.
Yeah.
It was like, we have to offer something for our advertisers to continue advertising with us. If everyone gets the same coverage, you're exactly right. I mean, why would you pay?
Yeah.
Why would you pay if I'm going to get the same coverage or more than you?
Well, and here's the argument there. You're no longer a media. You're no longer media then. News. You're no longer a news outlet then, because a news outlet is.
You're all about promoting people then.
Yeah, you're no longer a news outlet because a news outlet is supposed to cover everything.
Well, that was the come up at its inception. When they posted literally everyone's video, no matter how bad. There was almost no filter on it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Also,
And
I'm
then-
disclosed that I really don't give a shit at all. So if like
Yeah.
Budger and Our BMX or Vital BMX are watching, I don't care. Like I don't care what any companies do.
Yeah.
I'm just disclosing what my thought process would be. Anybody can do anything. Nothing ever matters to me. As far as honestly, I don't think Our BMX has promoted a video of mine since the inception of Our BMX. So that's how much I care. I don't really care.
Wait,
Mhm.
who is the Fox News of BMX, Kevin?
Who is it?
He just said they are the Fox News of BMX.
Who? Our BMX?
I don't know what
I
that
have no idea, dude. I'm
means.
so bad. Like I'll tell you what I do. My news, I guess you would say, I don't even look at any news for BMX. I think the only news I ever see pop up is from Brant because it pops up on if it's not on like my YouTube subscription thing, I don't go on specific websites. And I'd have to say, like, me being an older individual, I guarantee you these kids don't either. They'll be on
Yeah.
Instagram. They'll do like an Instagram thing. That's why the paywall is so like such a big deal, because if, like, for instance, if Vans, yes, does pay them to put up something, it's because they're trying to reach those kids that are holding their phones, because those kids aren't going to be going on Vans.com or VitalBMX.com or OurBMX.com. They're either on Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, or whatever that bullshit is, and YouTube. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Which
But
is
I think you brought up a good point about like back to the Nigel discussion real quick. You said something about it being like targeted for people, that like some people like it, some people don't. And I was starting to say we're in the perfect era for that though, because if you don't like it, you just don't follow it.
exactly. I
Like
think
if it's not for you, you don't follow it.
I think the problem
totally
is
cool.
I think the problem is that there's so many people who can't just accept that they just need to unfollow or not follow or just not watch something. They have to have this attitude of, well, if I don't want to see it, it shouldn't exist, and I'm going to put that out there on the world on the internet.
Look, if I can do it, if I literally can go on my Facebook feed and scroll and see like some Babylon article about something and not comment, not like it, not unfriend them, and just keep going, anybody else can do that.
Literally.
Same thing with YouTube. If I post a YouTube video that you're like, I don't like this video, I'm unsubscribing, you could just like keep going to the next video, or just not watch it. It's same thing. Instagram, you don't like a post. I don't really post my opinion that often on things. Usually I post something that if I know it's going to trigger people, because I think people are just so overly sensitive these days and don't have a thick enough skin. That's what I make fun of. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you know my personality, Brent. So
Well, all I'm going to say is, like, I don't watch every single one of your videos. You don't watch every single one of, maybe you do, but I don't think you watch every single one of my videos.
every day, Brent.
But we're still subscribed
Thank
to
you,
each
Matt
other.
O'Connell.
We still do this. We're still talking to each other through a live stream, even though we might not love or agree with every single thing that the other posts back and forth. It's
literally
possible.
This is the most time I have is like right now. You're catching it. Like throughout the day, I'm sure you're busy. I'm busy. Being a business owner and then doing YouTube for fun on the side. That's the best thing. Somebody actually said to me recently, like, dude, all you do is like film videos and sit around. I'm like, nah. I actually have like a kid. I have another one on the way. Not a lot of people know that. Like, I have a family.
Snap.
So not a lot of people. I mean, I'm not looking for that, like, stroke my ego, like, look at me because I can do all these things. I don't know why people judge so many people. That's what really bothers me. People are so quick to judge on just.
I'll hit that link, Brent. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
What
people are
link?
just so quick to judge on other people. It kind of sucks.
Salt asked for my channel.
Oh, okay. It's in the description already.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Anyways.
You're better than I am.
What was I gonna say, Mike? Dang it.
Hold on.
What the
Plugged
hell?
into my car. No,
Mike, what did you just say? Oh, I had to put him back in here. He got kicked out. Mike Feedy left, but then he was calling. I'm confused. I hope he can just join. Okay. Get in here. Get in here. Why does he keep missing it? Oh, there it is.
Sorry. My
I
bad,
was-
guys. I tried plugging my phone in and I kind of messed up.
I was more getting frustrated that the add person to chat button kept making me miss your call.
Mm.
Anyways, though, what was the last thing you said? I wanted to say something to it, but I can't remember.
How shitty people are and how people are so quick to judge other people And if you don't have a thick skin, like it can really be super sensitive to people and hurt their, not just feelings. I hate saying like hurt your feelings, but like why tear people down? Like we're not meant to just tear people down. Like I see that in like other people's comments on posts and on YouTube comments. I leave up all comments. If people are talking trash, I just leave it up there, let them expose themselves. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I know how it can affect other people. I have a really thick skin. I don't care or it doesn't bother me at all.
Right.
But I can see how like younger generations, I think like that's where it is because kids grew up with these phones now. So like we grew up like gaining a thick skin because you're around people and you had to say things to your face. Now it's like all these things are behind the screen and there is no emotion. And I don't want to get on that tangent, but I think that's where I left off.
You're right. You're definitely right.
How's your eye doing? How you feeling?
Well, I can't remember what I wanted to say to you, so there's that. But I shot a gun 50 times tonight, and I'm feeling okay.
Nice. What kind of gun? You're about to get demonetized for talking about it.
No, we'll be all right. It's a shotgun, 12 gauge shotgun. I was doing my trap shooting league, like skeet shooting.
Cool.
I'm on a team with a bunch of people from my family and then one of my dad's friends.
Dope.
Yeah, so I feel okay. I'm starting to get to the point where I'm like, my brain has had enough for the day. That's the one thing that I've noticed is that I can feel my limit whenever it comes to like just activities for a day and just the amount of like, I don't even know what word I'm trying to use, the amount of stimulus, whatever you want to say, for your brain.
Yeah, well, you are like overstimulating your brain because whether you're looking at a screen or just trying to focus and like maybe your brain's moving faster than it can register it out of your mouth. That's why I told you to take a while to like just come back. It's like it's something as little as like landing flat or landing low in a transition and you're just like this, that jolt will put you right back where you were.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like be stupid about anything for sure. And the crazy thing, like we talked about the reaction time thing with the tennis ball today, dude. So the way that this whole trap league works is that you shoot 25 from a closer distance, and then your team's average is like where you move back for your what they call handicap. Well, I was 2 off of hitting every single one in that first one, and it was just me being stupid and messing up, and like that doesn't happen. That's way better than I did the first time I shot this year before I even hit my head. So it was like, well, I guess my reaction time's fine.
That might be good for you then. That might be your tennis ball. Like, I mean, I gave you, just in case anybody's wondering what we're talking about, I gave Brant like a recommendation when I hit my head really hard. I was like, yeah, I went and got a tennis ball and I just threw it at a wall at different hardness. And then I tried to like, you get your reflexes good that way and you just keep messing with it and you get the tennis ball there. And it really did. It helped me at least. And it seems like, trap shooting helps you.
Well, that's the thing about it. Like, I felt all of the effects for the first like day or two, but since then it just seems like my stamina of my brain is just a little bit less to where at the end of the day I really feel like I need to chill out and like go to bed. And like it's only 9:30, but I'm starting to kind of get tired and stuff because I know my brain's kind of just overloaded for the day and needs a rest.
Yeah. You still working?
Yep. We did the crazy thing was yesterday we went an hour and a half away and did a video shoot all day long.
Good.
Yeah, I've never had a real head injury like you're dealing with.
I think I'm best case scenario right now, honestly. I mean, other than if I just like didn't knock myself out and it was like the most mild concussion you can get, where it just affects like your vision.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've had that where it's just like you get that blurry kind of rainbow vision. I've had that when I was younger.
It puts everything in perspective for you, man. It really honestly, it really shows you how weak and how strong the body is. You know what I'm saying? Like how much you rely on such a small thing. Every time I see a kid without a helmet at a skate park, I'm like I don't need one. I'm only riding this like little mani pad. I'm like, bro, I watched Steven, not Hamilton.
Murray?
What the hell's his name? No, not Murray's. Stevie Churchill. I watched Stevie Churchill at Estonia ride like this little ledge thing, and he went to 180 on it and fakie, and his free coaster engaged before he went to hop and went straight to his head, cracked his head open on like a 1 foot thing.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking Stevie Churchill does like 3 whips down 8 sets, 10 sets. Like
he did a truck down El Toro. Like it's big.
So it goes to show you, like the littlest thing can really take you out. You know.
You're right. Do you think? Okay, so Mike, being in your position, since you actually ride for 888 and you would know, my helmet, the foam like looks unaffected. It might be like 0.5 millimeter compressed, if even that much. It might just be a variance from the left side to the right. It just looks a little bit different. So I don't know if like, I feel like I might have hit my face more than my helmet. So I don't know if I should like, is it
if there's no mark, like no defining mark where it's like a divot in the plastic or a gouge in the plastic. Another way to tell is if you hold your helmet. You have your helmet there?
It's in my car, so no.
If you hold your helmet and you put your thumbs on the hard foam and you have your fingers grasped into the 888 logo on the top, you know what I'm talking about? And then you try to use your thumbs to kind of see if you can wiggle the hard foam. If the hard foam isn't secure, get rid of it.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be my only like real telltale with that. But like if it was all head, you'd be able to know with the helmet.
Oh, for sure. That's why I'm so questionable about it, because it's literally, it just had like a little bit of dust on it. Didn't even have a mark, like a permanent mark on the helmet. And the foam itself doesn't really look like it's, I don't know, it doesn't look like anything happened.
Yeah, I mean, that would be my only guess right there. If it can move, then it's compromised. Or if you have any noticeable destruction on the outside, it's compromised.
Well,
Jeff Mead says to replace it after any crash like that regardless, because you never know the microstructure.
I've said that before too. Yeah, because like in that like that one doesn't have the MIPS technology, like that really helps disperse the impact of when you actually hit your head. But yeah, you don't even know. Like if you end up getting a new helmet, you could probably heat up the actual shell so it like releases the glue, and you can actually just look at the hard foam and see if you damage anything.
Oh, interesting.
When you're all done.
Very interesting. I figured I would ask you because if anyone's going to know about a 888 helmet.
Dude, I mean, the next best one is POC. I mean, when I wasn't riding 888 helmets, I rode a POC for a while, and they're expensive, but they do the job.
Well, yeah, my thing is like if I get a new one, I want the exact same one that I had because I love that color.
You like how it fit,
and I love the way that it fit on my head. I'm like, man, I never tried to get in touch with them, but I'm like, dude, I need to because I promote this on my channel.
Yeah, they're so I don't know. We'll talk off thing. Just shoot me a text or whatever. But I can probably get you hooked up with some pads, but getting hooked up with like a YouTube deal or a sponsorship deal, I don't know how that's going to work out. The only reason why I say that's because they dumped a lot of money into Tony Hawk. They got that Tony Hawk game that just came out, so they paid a pretty good penny to be in that game.
I see. Well, I know Doug Brown, dude. Doug Brown's a local skateboarder who's pro and sponsored by 888. He knows the sponsorship lady, really well.
Yeah. The main dude is Noah. Noah is like basically he does all the art design, he's right below the VP.
Oh, interesting.
Dude. So we'll chat off this. You shoot me a text tomorrow or something like that, see if I can get you worked out.
Okay. Well, I figured you could video chat me at some point and I can show you the helmet.
Yeah, for sure. But the deal is, from here on out, you gotta wear your fucking helmet all the time. Stop posting up clips you doing a fucking stupid foofanu and you're like, oh, I'm just doing a foofanu. Yeah, if your brakes don't work, you loop out, smack your head.
Listen, Linda, I need to get a green bandana on my helmet somehow so I can feel okay.
Yeah, you're gonna get rocked easier and easier with every KO.
That's the first time I've ever been knocked out in my life.
Was it Pastrana that like if he turned his head too sharp would black for a minute?
If he landed flat, I've seen him land really hard at his compound and not black out, but like literally pull over to the side and have to like stand and hold on to something. He has night terrors and he has a separate bed from his wife and shit. It's pretty nuts. It's pretty nuts. But I'm going to go because I only got like 2% battery left. So shoot me a text or whatever. I'll be up editing tonight. And
Okie dokie then.
let's chat with you boys.
Oh,
Yeah, you
thanks for
too.
jumping in, man.
Yep, later.
Bye. Oh, well, that was a very welcome, unexpected guest.
Yeah.
Good chat there with Mike.
Yeah, I know I've met Mike at the wheel mill, but I believe it was like in passing outside of Joe's booth.
Oh, yeah.
And then, I don't tend to
Dude,
talk to
Winter
people.
Welcome Jam is so
You wouldn't
insane.
believe that.
What?
But I don't tend to talk to people.
Well, it's okay. Winter Welcome Jam is just so insane. It's hard to talk to people.
Yeah.
I hope they do
don't
that
like
this
jams.
winter. Dude, I love jams. I love going and just talking to everyone and then trying to leave and talking to everyone and not leaving until an hour or two after you were originally trying to leave.
That's fair.
I just love it. And the crazy thing is that I'm not even really that bad about it.
Oh,
The motocross world is like 50 times worse than the BMX world.
Yeah.
Because my buddy Ryan will literally be at the dirt bike track and we'll be like, all right, we're all loaded up, ready to go. And then he'll get in a full-blown conversation with somebody for a half hour. It's crazy.
Yeah, and then the next person down the line.
Yeah, literally. Literally. That's funny.
I agree with all these helmet comments, Brant.
Okay, I just need a green bandana on my helmet. That's all I want.
Just glue it on.
No, I'm going to figure something out. Some kind of stickers, paint, or something. I tried to figure it out where, like, I want to know how those, like, Rockstar has their custom helmets. Red Bull has their custom helmets. Those look like they're, like, made that way. I want to do something like, what about, like, a wrap for a car? Is a helmet too tight of a curve to wrap?
Probably not if you knew what your curves and everything were.
Basically, if you know what you're doing to make a wrap, you could probably do it. Because then I could just design
You
it
can
on
probably
the
also
computer.
hydro dip it.
Well, then I feel like you wouldn't have the same, like, quality of a result, though. I know that people get them airbrushed, but there's like those Rockstar logos on helmets and Red Bull stuff that's too perfect.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way that's airbrush. Error. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain a smooth stream. Interesting. This is the first time that's happened. But yeah,
That's weird because I'm still seeing it.
Matt Jones has custom hand-painted helmets. Interesting. I just stopped and started it in OBS. It should be okay. But yeah, if I can figure that out to where it's like if someone wrapped it or something or whatever, I feel like I could get it wrapped with my own design. Because they could just print or whatever, because that's how they do a wrap, right?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you look beat.
Me?
Yeah.
I was gonna say you. Because you already said you're starting to feel it.
Ooh, the Red Bull ones are made by a company called Air Tricks. Gonna write that down. Oh, dude. Let's see. Cancel. My boy can do it for you. Air Tricks helmet. Well, I talked
maybe Liddy Hats has like a helmet division and they can do your...
You're right. You are
and you can be
right.
on that third tier company status,
Oh, Jesus. What tier is Alienation? They're first tier, right? They're global.
Yeah. Yeah, they're global.
Good, I would agree with that. See, that's the thing. Like, I posted that, and then I was just like thought about myself in that, and I'm like, I am so glad that I represent people that are like what I would call like the best or really, really high up in what they do.
It's all personal experiences and everything too, because your experiences are not going to be reflective of mine.
True.
Uh, a good example of that, if we're trying to get back to the topic at hand,
Holy
would
crap.
be yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening.
Profile and their death wobble front wheels.
What about them?
I mean, people swear by their profile hubs. Other people
Just dye your hair green.
have
Pussy.
horrible experiences,
That's the
and
thing.
their tight tolerances make their hub wobble from
I've
the day you get
had
it and land sideways once.
I've had my same front profile hub for 8 years now, and it's perfect.
Yeah, and I know a ton of people that have bad experiences.
Well, I feel like that's
My
just with anything. You're
my
gonna get.
Madeira cassette was the hands down worst hub I've ever owned in my life.
That's so crazy because that's literally a profile hub.
Yeah, hands down worst hub I've ever owned in my life.
That's insane.
Uh, Followed by a very close second by the Merit Nonstop.
Crazy, dude. That's so crazy. I don't know. I don't know what to say about it because I've had profile hubs forever and I've never had an issue with them. And I literally have the original bearings in my front hub from 2012 right now.
That's interesting.
Yeah, they're kind of getting crusty. I need to get new ones to be totally honest. I did get new ones. I bought we didn't know that like there was a real like difference in bearings. So like at the bike shop, we just ordered these ones. We're like, "Oh, this is a good company. We'll get these bearings. They're the right size. They should be all right." Got them, rode them for a year, and then they blew out because we had no idea. I mean, there's a big difference between BMX and like a road bike or something bearing. Profile uses really good bearings in their hubs.
Yeah, well, even skateboarding always has that issue because they go by ABEC rating,
Mm-hmm.
and ABEC rating is not representative of what's good for skateboarding.
I see. Well,
It's manufacturing tolerances and like operating speeds.
it's interesting. I definitely Tiger Designs. Thank you, Nick. I'm gonna look that up too because I cannot afford $1,200 for a helmet. I don't even think Park Tool would want to pay anywhere near that if I got Park Tool on my helmet. But yeah, I don't know what the difference is really just because I don't personally know these things, but I definitely next time I'm going to buy the bearings directly from Profile because whichever ones they use are really good.
Yeah.
I've got G Sport hubs and rims right now so far solid. I've never heard a bad thing about a G Sport hub.
Me either. Make 11 tooth. Yeah. Yeah, that's hard to find. But yeah, I mean, that's just I didn't really want to go down too far into that rabbit hole, but they are the one company that I think of where it's like personal experience. I can't ride a set of their cranks for more than a week before they're twisted and bent. The arms, not the spindle, even though that twists too.
Interesting. Even the 22 millimeter ones?
I have not given them a shot because I got tired of dealing with their 19 mil ones, and it was the arms were twisting and bending. They looked like bananas.
You need the RNC titanium cranks, man.
I don't need anything titanium.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
What cranks are you riding right now?
I have some Haro forged cranks.
Yeah.
Made out of like forged steel.
Interesting.
Those weigh a lot, but I could ride those. I think they're like a stupid 20 mil spindle.
Word. I like the Thunderbolts that I've been riding.
Yeah, I'm a big dude, so like again, it comes down to like my experiences are not representative of anyone else's. She's saying profile as racing heritage. That's why you're bending them.
You're fair enough, right? I mean, I've heard a lot of things about spindles spinning too, just in general with 48 spline.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you have any other companies you want to call out for being bad? Bad for BMX?
I don't know if
Someone mentioned Mafia right at the very beginning of this to see who was going to back them. No one's backing Mafia.
I don't know. I don't know, man. Like Tom Justice rides for Mafia, and
Are they still around? I thought they stopped existing.
no, he's working on a video for them right now that he posted in his
Really?
Instagram story or something. Yeah, and I know for a fact, based on some insider knowledge, that he's getting paid enough that another company could not entice him to, like, they couldn't match to get him on their team. So that's a thing. There's definitely some integrity when it comes to frames. I heard literal jokes at Interbike about companies or about people who were talking about previous companies that they rode for where they would have to get new frames every couple months because they were breaking them every couple months. And I think it's crazy that we see, as that's your job to promote this company that whose products you're breaking on that regular of a basis. It's like,
Well, there's a whole other element to that too when you get into companies like Mongoose, where they are having custom pro level frames made for these people.
and
They
they're
are not
selling
running
them, but they
Mongoose
sell
frames.
those
They're getting
frames too.
Mongoose stickers.
They're selling those frames to people too, though.
I don't know if that's accurate.
They did.
They're
They had
selling.
a really it was a small amount, but they had some that they
Okay.
sold.
Yeah, but like what they're selling in the stores and promoting is not what they're riding. Never
That's
has
true.
been.
That's very true, and there's something to be said about the fact that when
And
you're
like
promoting, when like those riders are promoting Mongoose, they're promoting Mongoose, not the Mongoose Pro layered frame.
right, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Mike Laird's building a lot of those. So
So when people go to Walmart or they're somebody guaranteed someone has bought a Mongoose frame or bike thinking that it would be on level with someone else who's rides for Mongoose for on level with their bike.
yeah.
To be fair though, Mongoose does make a full chromoly bike with integrated headset, sealed
Hmm.
mid bottom bracket, and sealed hubs on the bike. So it's probably the same quality as another company's complete that is full
Yeah.
chromoly with all those features.
Yeah. Kink, Call, Sabrosa,
So
any of the above.
to be fair, they do make the same like things, and someone could technically buy something that was full chromoly and whatnot.
When you're getting paid for a fleet of frames, I don't know that you actually care if you get the recognition or not.
Yeah,
To answer Charles.
I mean, that was like kind of. I mean, I wasn't around too much in the Solid
It,
days, but I feel like Solid made a lot of companies' bikes, and it was kind of just the word of mouth that they made them.
FBM also used to do that too.
And it was the same as like the word of mouth that they did it. People knew that they did
Yeah.
it, but it wasn't like advertised and whatnot.
Well, and I think it's industry knows, and like it, even the mongoose thing. I don't think that's any secret. I think probably most people on here watching this would have known that, or at least assumed that that was happening to some degree.
Yeah, and
But to a kid coming in going, that dude rides for this company. I want to ride the same bike as him.
mm-hmm.
You can't.
Yeah, yeah, but it's the same token. Just the fact that they offer the full chromoly version with all the sealed, same everything, means that they're on the same level as any other company who's selling a pro model bike and a complete that's on the lowest tier, because let's be real here. The lowest tier complete BMX bikes are all on the same level. Like, they're all bad.
Yeah.
So weird. The riders and obviously the companies know the bikes suck. Well, that's
Well,
another part of it.
it's a relative term though. They
That's the
don't suck.
Well, this is the thing though. We're looking at this through, like, I think, the wrong lens, because no matter what you're in life, or no matter what you're talking about in life, there is a spectrum of buying things. If you're going to buy those headphones that you're wearing, you can buy the $10 pair of those from Amazon, and you know that they're going to suck. Those people, the company who makes that, are going to have people, they're going to be advertising them just like bikes. And then there's going to be a company who makes the best ones, or there's companies who have the worst and the best.
Well, and also the person using it, right? Like, if you're right now at your riding level, at my riding level, I would never recommend you or myself or anyone else I know go out and buy the entry level Sabrosa or Kink complete bikes.
Or any entry level bike.
But I also wouldn't recommend a 15-year-old kid that's just getting on the bike for, maybe it's his fourth time at the wheel mill and he's looking to get something new. I'm not going to recommend that he go order a brand new work frame,
right,
custom built with whatever specs he chooses, and buy all aftermarket parts to outfit it, because you're not even talking the same markets.
right, exactly. And that's why it all exists on that spectrum. And so I feel like, I don't know if it's fair for us to kind of put the riders at fault when it comes to those types of scenarios, because they have to offer a spectrum, and they're not trying to promote their bike and get people to buy the cheapest one. They're just riding their bike, promoting a company who happens to make the cheapest and the best. And if someone chooses to buy the cheapest thing when they perfectly well could have done the research and bought the best one, then that's on them, not the company or the rider.
Yeah, and again, I think that's where that whole mongoose discussion is valid. Like, anyone that knows. But what is Mongoose's core target market? Is entry level kids.
Yeah.
And how do you get entry level kids? You sponsor really high end riders and you put them on an aftermarket frame so that it's safe for them to be out there doing what they do.
Yeah, and at the same token too, though, like, if you're an entry level kid who's getting into a bike, with Mongoose, even, you have the spectrum to move up. If you buy the cheapest thing, you can buy the next level up and the next level up and end up with a full chromoly bike that is probably safe. I do like this thing that CX, his name's Aaron, I'm pretty sure, brought up about being curious to know how many frames and parts pro riders actually go through. I mean, I feel like both of us can speak on, like, a level of that. Maybe not necessarily to, like, Nathan Williams, Garrett Reynolds status, but at the same time, we all want to be safe and confident riding our bikes. There is no possible way that Garrett Reynolds and Nathan Williams are doing the things that they're doing on inferior stuff. They want to go into it knowing that when he does that rail to hard 15-foot drop and 20-foot gap out of it, that he's going to land and his bike's going to be solid.
Yeah. No, he's for sure, probably after every large clip, if not doing a very thorough check, just saying, hey, I probably need a new build.
Yeah, I would guess. And they're breaking stuff, so it would be really interesting to hear how much stuff they are actually breaking. But at the same time, man, and when you're at that level, I bet they don't take any chances on parts breaking. I wouldn't.
Yeah. No.
I 100% wouldn't.
Where's Sean Burns at? I want to know his take.
Oh, yeah.
Huh. We know he's not replacing his wheels because his Bone Death 48s don't need to be replaced ever. But uh, everything else, like when you're doing a drop and whatnot, or a huge gap, yeah, you're not playing games about it. I
No.
want to touch on two things real quick. Matt O'Connell, I know you have pegs on your bike right now, so you can't claim GrindWorks invisible pegs.
That's
You're
funny.
running other pegs, and they're not GrindWorks.
Called out. Oh shoot.
Uh, the other one I wanted to say was Sean Garrison said something about the bikes from the 80s being unspeakably dangerous. Even up through late 90s, like when I started, I guess this is going to answer Feedy's semi-question comment that he didn't know how old I was, but 32 years old. So late 90s when I started, bikes were getting heavy. Not necessarily good, but heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and well, they were already heavy at that point. They were starting to come down late 90s into early 2000s. But uh, basically, my point for this whole discussion about bad parts and whatnot, not one person in like the younger generation and even barely mine has ever actually ridden a bad bike part. We've
Well,
had either some bad items that came in, but like to say truly dangerous and bad,
well,
I don't
let's
think
let's
so.
not exclude the period of time in the early 2000s or late 2000s where companies were trying to find the lightest possible, like they were getting that lightest possible point. There was definitely a point in time where things were dangerously light. So there was a little bit there, but you're right.
But
Other
not
than
as
that,
bad
you're
as that
right.
stuff in the 80s.
What?
Not as bad as that stuff in the
No,
80s.
no, but you're definitely
But
right. Other than
to
that short period of time where companies took it too far on the light side.
today's kids, like say even the last 10 years, right? From 2010 on,
Oh, for
anyone
sure.
that started riding in the
For
last
sure.
10 years, they've never ridden a bad part.
100%.
Like really bad part. You may have gotten a bad version of something. Like again, my Madeira hub comment. Worst hub I've ever ridden.
I was
Was
about
it
to
a bad hub? Maybe.
Hank, my friend Hank here. His actual name's Barry Moto B. He's got a point there. We're I think you're talking on a certain like spectrum here. You're not talking about the cheapest possible thing you can buy.
Right. I'm saying like from a name brand company, if you're buying literally anything from Kink, it's just my go-to example, you may get something that's not the strongest version of the part, but they've never ridden a bad part. They've never bought just a horribly dangerous, terrible complete, other than Walmart stuff that comes bad.
Well, and the thing about Kink too is that they make the best value complete bike that you can buy.
Hmm.
Period. I mean, there's
Yeah.
no arguing it. The whip is the best value right now. Unless things have changed in the past year or two, the whip just gives it's the best one.
You see that guilty comment from Matt? He
Wombos.
needs four streetlight pegs. He's going to pick them up tomorrow.
Is he in Buffalo or in Pittsburgh?
No.
Oh,
Actually, he was trying to come out closer to your way this weekend. I don't know if that's still a thing, or if we
gotcha.
can't talk about it because Ohio is banned in New York right now.
It's back to being banned, or it never got unbanned.
No, it was unbanned for a period of time.
Oh, okay. Well, just don't let it be
So,
Sunday because
uh,
I'm going fishing.
allegedly, he was thinking about an Ohio trip.
Whatever. Don't let it be Sunday because I'm fishing Sunday. I've got to say, I'm really excited about the fishing YouTube channel that I'm dropping soon.
Yeah.
Or the outdoors. Yes, we have 2 videos.
Outdoors, shooting and fishing.
Yeah, just whatever we get into. I have 2 videos edited so far. I'm working on a logo. and shortly after that, I'll be able to drop it. Ohio is not banned.
It is. They just added it back on the list like 2 days ago.
Why? Is it because the guy who runs the stuff in Ohio is picking the numbers out of a lottery thing?
Yeah, Charles, they put it back on like 2 days ago.
Lame.
Also, going back to poverty really quickly, they may have made some horrible and dangerous stuff, but they accidentally produced one of the better free coasters for a long period of time.
Accidentally. That's funny.
I don't think they did it on purpose, that's for sure.
That's funny. Well, I mean, poverty was like meant to be like that lower end thing, like the affordable option, right? Ray's, I'm pretty sure is just fully open now for the season. They opened a month early, I'm pretty sure, not 100% positive. Ray's is open AF. But you have to have a mask on anytime, like actually on your face, anytime you're not riding, and you can have it down while you're taking a run.
Yeah, highly recommend the neck gaiters, like the running mask.
I have one of those, a Park Tool one, and I love it, and I'm probably going to ask for a couple more.
Wheel Mill is the same way right now.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how long this lasts, because I would really love it if this didn't go into the winter where we actually need to ride inside.
I'm just going to say I actually really love the mask thing.
Even at the skate park?
I mean, just in general,
I
I
mean,
like it.
I want to talk skate park, because in general, I get it.
Yeah. Well, so at the skate park, no. But again, like those runnings, the neck gaiters made for runners and stuff,
Uh-huh.
you can really ride right in it and it doesn't bother you. It's only once you get really sweaty, it's kind of like waterboarding yourself.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate, but
That's the thing. I mean, I'm really curious to see what's going to happen if this lasts into the winter, because people already have cabin fever and no one's really able to do much right now. If the wintertime comes and it's like it is right now and Rays is open, it's going to be insane every single day.
mm-hmm.
Every day.
They're basically going to hit a point where they can't police it either. Like, if you have the entire place full of people and no one is wearing a mask, or everyone just starts refusing, like, if one dude's not doing it, everyone's going to probably, like, point fingers, turn them in, whatever. If no one is doing it, what are they going to do? Like, you're going to kind of get to a point where you can't enforce something. And the wheel mills, I've been there a couple of times recently, and it's pretty like strict, but it's also a handful of people there at any given point in time.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm in a position where you're talking about being able to get away with it and stuff. I feel like I'm in a position where I won't be able to even attempt to get away with that if it becomes.
No, you're not, because of who you are and you're like a local.
Yeah.
But even, I don't know how Ray's is, but the wheel mill right now, there's deck room, right? They've got X's marked out, and there's only a limited number of people in any given room.
Yeah.
So I think you can have like 8 to 10 people in the woods room at the wheel mill.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that's going to happen?
No.
I mean, how do you even enforce that? And why did I pay to come here if I can't ride the room I want to be in?
Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm
No,
curious.
I don't want to be in the woods room, to be clear.
You ever jumped one of those the big ones?
Yeah, I can jump those lines.
Sick.
I can case them like a pro too.
Hey, nothing wrong with it. I'm just curious to see what's gonna happen with wintertime in indoor parks. Kind of nervous. It's gonna suck if it stays the way that it is right now, and having to go up there and not having to, but you kind of have to go up there if you want to ride your bike.
What is
What happened?
Changa doing?
Not sure.
Because the reason I ask that is last I knew, Wedgwood was not requiring anything. Skate 1.4 is not requiring anything. Breaking Free up in Rochester says that you need one in their shop area, but you don't have to be pulling it up and down when you're on a deck. Matt, can you confirm that? But that's my understanding is he says that you need one, but you don't really.
Gotcha.
So the only two parks that I know of offhand that are truly enforcing this is the Wheel Mill and Race.
Yeah. I don't know, man. We're going to see, I guess. So my camera's froze. I guess we'll all be playing Call of Duty this winter. I don't really know.
Well, no, here's the thing. I think it's going to be more of a situation of people just aren't going to go to the parks that require it. Like if you have the option of going to Rays and they require you to wear a mask the whole time, or Changa, where are you going to go?
Yeah.
You and everyone else are going to go to the place that doesn't require it.
Right. Well, crap. My camera completely froze.
I see, and it froze in a very unflattering position.
Yeah, I don't know how to fix it right now because everything I'm doing is just not working.
In OBS, right-click it and deactivate it. Like hit properties and then deactivate and then reactivate.
That's the thing. This isn't a normal. It's gone now. Where'd it go? The thing about it is that it's not a normal. I'm using my phone in the iOS camera one.
Yeah, but it should still do the activate, deactivate. I would think so.
Well, whatever, man. I'm here. Let's make this one real big. There I am. It's not. The iOS camera one just isn't working. So, I guess since we've been going for almost 2 hours and 12 minutes at this point, we could pick this chat up another time, and I can go to bed because I'm freaking tired.
Yeah, you look it.
I am. My brain's tired, and I'm not gonna lie. I've had to pee since we started this stream.
Yeah, so you get to end this stream and start another one?
Yeah, this stream isn't ending for like 3 more minutes, guys. Either way, though, thank you to everyone for tuning in. Thank you to you for jumping in here because this was a really good one. We had a good conversation.
Yeah, it was fun. We kind of danced around the topic that you originally wanted to bring up, but I think it's a good...
I didn't want to bring on the full hate train, just a little bit of hate train.
Yeah, but you know what? In doing that, we kind of became the guys selling the product that we didn't want to buy.
Whatever.
But yeah, that was last comment I wanted to make and just reiterate was the skate park thing. I think that's going to be the situation this year is anyone that's enforcing it, people are just going to go elsewhere.
Not when it comes to Rays, though, because people are going to go to Rays no matter what. Like the bicycle, not necessarily. The BMX guys might go to Changa, but the bicycle people are all still going to Rays.
Yeah. Well, those bicycle people don't... Half the time they're like commuting with a mask on anyway in the winter.
Yeah.
So that's going to be normal for them.
True. You're right.
But, yeah, I think BMX and skateboarding, skateboarding at the Wheel Mill and there is not a thing anyway.
Yeah.
But BMX is going to go somewhere else. Like, for me, I have a pass to the Wheel Mill, so I'll still go there.
Yeah.
But heading out to Skate 1.4 or Wedgwood might be a common occurrence.
Word. Wedgwood looks like it's making stuff a lot better, too.
Sure.
Okay, we're not going to go there. All right, we're going to jump out of here. Thank you to Casey Smith, even though he's not here anymore, for the super chat today. Literally going into the iPhone fund that's going to be very soon at this point. I'm so psyched.
RV fund?
iPhone, bro, this thing needs replaced.
What are you still on, like a 5?
The 8.
Oh, 8? That's not bad.
It's dying. It's not working for me anymore, dude.
Nah,
It
you
sucks.
got to get one of those 11 Pros at least with the good
That's what I'm doing.
wide angle lens.
I'm getting the 12 Pro when it comes out, and I'm getting it in the biggest storage option possible, and I'm probably going to be spending like $70 a month.
Probably.
But I'm okay with it because it's going to be great, and all of the people who have helped make it, like support it in the super chats and everything it's going to be worth it to be able to make better videos for people.
Right.
So with that,
Motorola brick fund.
Motorola RV fund, Motorola brick RV fund. That's funny. The new Razor did just come out though. That looks sweet. All right, Andy. If we keep talking, we'll end up talking all night.
Yep.
So let's get
Hey.
out of here.